Hey guys, Martin Mentor here, back with another video. Want to make this video real quick. Box trucking is a tricky game, all right? Trucking in general, not just box trucking, semi-truck, trucking, period. Tricky game, all right? It is a tricky game, all right? So I'm not the type of person that's going to sit up here and sell you hopium. I'm not going to sit up here and sell you false dreams. You have to do your research. You got to do your research. What I'm seeing, what I'm coming across is a lot of people being misled with hopium. All right. I'm a practical person. I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is a good and bad and ugly game. All right. It's tricky. All right. When you coming into this game, you got to have all your ducks in a row. You got to have your T's crossed and your I's dotted. Okay. All right, this is a game where, or an industry where, and I'm speaking to box truck specifically, this is an industry where, you don't set the standard. You don't set the standard. You're reliant on other parties, all right? You're reliant on brokers. You're reliant on shippers. You're reliant on retailers, all right? Whether you're middle or final mile, even if you're running Amazon Relay, you're reliant on them and they're reliant on the consumer. This isn't an industry, and your box truck isn't a product or service that's superior. All right. What do you mean, Mark? What do you mean? It sounds like you talking some BS. No, what I'm doing is I'm keeping it funky with you, because I think a lot of people, when I talk to them, I just be listening like, man, like things aren't going to occur. Like people are like floating in the clouds in their brain or something, like everything is going to go smooth all the time, and then when problems arise, you don't know what to do. Or the people I talk to that are trying to enter the game, they thinking they're going to go from nothing to something like that overnight, and it don't work like that. It's a tricky game, all right? If it wasn't tricky, just look at it like this. Look how many people on YouTube. I actually went earlier today, I went on YouTube and just search box trucking, box trucks, box truck business, things just to see what came up, to watch a few videos to see like where are people getting this information from. All right. You're in an industry where you're reliant on a numerous amount of things, and I talk about these things all the time. I talk about them in the podcast. I talk about them in the video. I give you strategies to maneuver these things. I forewarn you about upcoming things based around the economy and things of that nature. But yet still people have this thought in their head that it's just like get rich quick, and it ain't. It's a tricky game. It's a tricky game. This is not a product. You know what? McDonald's has a superior product. Well, Mark, McDonald's has competition against Burger King, but you know what? McDonald's is the king of them all, of all fast food. They have a superior product that's mastered at a price point that nobody can refuse. They have a superior product, all right? Pharmaceutical companies have superior products. They have licensed prescription drugs, penicillin, amoxicillin, Flexeril. Those are superior products, all right? Regardless of what's going on in the economy, regardless of hurricanes or pandemics, anything you want to throw at me, people going to need medicine. Those are superior products. Penicillin is a superior product. No matter what's going on in the world, people going to need it. Amoxicillin. All right, prescription pain, cyclochlorobenzephrine, or whatever it's called, muscle relaxers, whatever you go to the doctor for and get a prescription for when you're sick or you got an ailment, whatever, these are superior products. Box trucking is a service that's always going to be needed, but it's not something that your box truck isn't something that you can deem superior. So me saying that is to say this, that guess what? It doesn't mean that if you don't put all your ducks in a row and cross your T's and dot your I's that you're going to be making money. It's going to be like a straight line going like this. You're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have bumps in the road. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have negative days. You're going to have positive days. You're going to have moderate days. Because you're reliant on many different factors. What's another product? You know what another product is? Something else that's superior? Illegal drugs. Those are superior products. But whether you like it or not, it's a superior product. People that are on them, unfortunately, they're going to do whatever they got to do to get to it. Whether it's a hurricane, whether it's a shoot, when things are worse, that's probably when they do the most volume. They're going to get it regardless. All right. So if you're running, let's say middle mile, Amazon Relay, you're running final mile, you're relying on a logistics company, let's say middle mile. They deal with a retailer. If the retailer says, oh, we don't want to deal with you no more, guess what? You lose the account because the person you're carrying for the logistics company lost it. So you lose it by default. What if the retailer goes out of business? What if consumer buying patterns shift like they have and people just stop buying? And that means volume goes down, right? That's what's going on with Amazon. That's what's going on with everybody. Look at Nike. Everything I've been saying has been happening. Now Nike released that they have an overabundance of overflow stock that they got to get rid of. Amazon's doing a 2-day sale because they got an overabundance of overflow stock that they trying to get rid of. Amazon Relay stopped double booking. So people that were running, booking two loads a day, in their mind, they thought this was probably going to last forever. And then when it stopped, now what? That money got cut short. Tricky game, right? People were getting into the game last year. They got into in a bubble. Inflation rates are high, thinking that this was just what it was always. Now look, ain't making nowhere near that type of money, right? Tricky game. Employment crunch. I'm not running the amount of trucks that I was running prior to the pandemic, right? Tricky game. You got to be prepared. You got to be in the know. It's not like this. It's not a straight arrow up and to the right. It's not, because if it was, you see a lot more content out there now. Content, even you don't even see people putting up videos like that no more. Not like how they was putting them up last year. Everything was $7,000 in 1 week, $10,000. I made $20,000 in 1 week. What happened? Tricky game. You know, the people that are still surviving, I always do this. I always tell y'all, it's up here. Knowing how to maneuver, knowing how to prepare, knowing how to do your books, cutting your overhead costs, knowing how to pay yourself, knowing your margins. You would be surprised how many people don't pay themselves. They pay themselves with the money after all expenses are paid. They pay themselves with the rest. And then they wonder when the truck breaks down, where did all the money go? How come I don't have money to fix it? Because you've been stealing from the sustainability of the business the whole time because you haven't been paying. Yeah, I haven't been taking the money. With that, you taking all the money. You have to set yourself a salary aside. Your business can't sustain. What does your business need to sustain? It needs cash flow. This is a tricky game. But you got to know how to play it. So that's the purpose of this video. Learn how to play the game. Stop falling for the okie doke. the Tony Robbins and the Ty Lopez positivity speeches and make money regardless of what's going on, man. Stop believing that, because if it was that sweet, then the rah-rah and all the hoopla from last year, it would still be going on. I don't hear no hoopla. All I see is a bunch of complaining. And this video probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, but man, the truth is the truth. And I'm giving you the truth because it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the person that's gonna sit up here and tell you, man, it's great. It's okay. You know, it's moderate. We surviving, you know what I'm saying? But I can see a person entered that has overhead. I could see how a person that has a high overhead or high rental costs could be struggling right now. I'm a veteran in the game, and I've been brutally honest and say, yo, this was the worst year I've had in moving, right? This year was even worse than the housing market crash years. People still had money to move out of their foreclosed home, and we're headed in that direction now, and it was bad this year. But then U-Haul numbers were up. So people moved themselves because they had to save the money. People that have money are holding on to it, and then the other people just don't have the money. Freight, the volume is down. I'm not sitting up here I have not sit up here and told everybody, man, it's great. No, I'm honest with y'all. I'm honest. So you got people that were once telling people this was great, this was great, this was great, this was great, but now they're just not saying nothing. Or they talking about other stuff that ain't got nothing to do, just basic minor stuff that probably y'all already know. And I'm not talking about anybody directly. I'm talking about overall. I'm looking at the overall scope. So I'm just letting y'all know this is a tricky game. You got to learn how to play the game. I'm hearing people still, Mark, I'm thinking about getting a truck, $70,000, $80,000. I'm just like, why? Why would you buy a $80,000 truck? Like, y'all with these expensive trucks and the prices are going down, like y'all gonna buy these trucks to pull up in front of the club? Like, why you want to go spend $80,000 on a truck? You gonna pull up in front of the club in your truck or something? Like, what? I'm trying to figure it out. I got 05s and 06s. I bought my trucks 10 years ago, 8 years ago. And when I bought them then, they were 6, 7, 8 years old then. And they doing perfectly fine. The trouble I had, the truck I had trouble with was one of the trucks that I bought brand new. I haven't had any powertrain issues in any of the trucks I bought used, and they were 8 years old then. Still haven't had no powertrain issues. Truck I bought new, 80,000 miles, boom, transmission out of there. That's it's tricky game. You see what I'm saying? I got trucks that I bought with 200 damn near thousand miles, and we done put another 100,000 plus on them. Still haven't had no powertrain issues. I bought 2 new trucks, and one of the new trucks I bought 80,000 miles. The trans blows. Tricky game. See what I'm saying? This is a tricky game. You can't predict it, but you have to be prepared for it. This is not a game where we control. We don't set the prices with the shippers. All right, you want this shipped from LA to Chicago. All right, well, it's going to cost you $4,500. No, you look on the low board, you see the rate, you may have a little flexibility to negotiate, but guess what? If they don't want to go, guess what? They don't want to budge, they're not going to budge. And guess what? Somebody going to pick it up. Final mile, guess what? You get a contract with JB Hunt, XPO, UST, guess what? 50% of the money that they getting from the retailer, they already took off the top. You get another 50%. They already snatched 50% of your money. You don't have a say-so in that because your product is not superior. Because if it was superior, you wouldn't be dealing with a middleman. The source will come straight to you. So unless you have a superior product, you're going to always be put in a tricky situation. The only thing you can do is prepare, hope for the best, and pray for the worst. But guess what? Eventually that day and that time is coming. Businesses have good season, they have bad season, they have storms. This is a time right now we finna go through a storm. We gotta weather it. And the only way you're gonna weather is by making smart decisions and being prepared and not putting yourself in deeper debt and working and paying yourself correctly. Learn how to play the game. www.boxtruckcourses.com for your one-on-one mentorship with me, Mark the Mentor. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the upcoming videos. Every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, the Mentors Podcast with me, Mark the Mentor. I'm out.